Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to a very special episode, I might say, of And I Quote. This is a weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guests on this episode, please welcome a New York Times best-selling writer. She's also got a Kickstarter going on right now, which we are going to talk about later on in this program, but stay tuned, more to come. Please welcome the one, the only, who reinvented adventure for a new generation. Brina Williamson is here, everybody. Hello, Brina. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Excellent, excellent. We're happy to have you here. We're happy to have you here who may be watching or listening to us right now. Do not forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. And if you're joining us live or what is known as a replay, thank you so much for doing so. With that, if you have any questions for Brina and our other guest, Jonathan, who will be here momentarily, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We're more than happy to take those as they come in respectively. But with that, with that out of the way, Brina, what are some of your favorite books or writers, past or present?
Oh, I'm so bad at picking favorites. So I have a long list of favorite books. Oh, hey, Jonathan.
Hello.
Hey, there he is.
Hi.
Sorry,
We're
I'm
looking
late.
all over for you, man. We had to send out a search party.
Very sorry to be late.
No. It's okay. You know, the Alice and the White Rabbit would have been disappointed if you were early. So I'm late for a very important date. No, so yeah, you're fine, Jonathan. You're fine. But the question on the table was for Brina, and then we'll go over to you here, Jonathan. Brina, what were some of your favorite books or writers, past or present?
Okay, so
ladies first.
I think probably my favorite writer is Agatha Christie. I own the most of her work. But some other favorite writers are like C.S. Lewis and Tolkien and I'm forgetting names. Sherlock Holmes.
Arthur Conan Doyle?
Arthur Conan Doyle. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Like his Sherlock and Lost World and all those. So I love all of them. Some favorite books would be like The Hobbit. I think I mentioned on your last show that I was on. And then There Were None is one of my favorite Agatha Christie's, and Treasure Island. Lost World is another favorite, and another classic, Tenant of Wildfell Hall, is another favorite of mine. So that's just some of my favorites.
All right. No, it's a good list. Just out of curiosity, though, it was a bit of a follow-up to that. Have you ever seen the mouse iteration of Sherlock Holmes called The Great Mouse?
Oh, yes.
Disney? Did you ever see that?
Was cute. Yes.
Yeah.
Basil
Break a street. Yeah,
Yes.
You remember that one?
And I loved the name, going back to the black and white Basil Rathbone, Sherlock Holmes, which are some of my favorite ones. I love those ones.
In fact, it's elementary, my dear Dawson. Jonathan, I'm just curious, other than the fact that you know what a great mouse detective is, and the movie's almost 40 some odd years old, and it's one of the greatest Disney animated films of all time, # these are the facts, and they are undisputed. But Jonathan, I'm just curious, what are some of your favorite books or writers, past or present, other than the fact that Brina Williamson is this new generation's awesome-tacular writer?
Absolutely. Well, I really liked Jules Verne growing up. I think 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea really just like the adventure genre is probably one of the first things that, I remember as a kid reading. I read voraciously as a kid. I don't have as much time to read anymore. I wish I did, but I don't. But Sherlock Holmes as well. I loved all of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's stuff. Going a little bit more modern, I've really enjoyed the Sigma Force series. Let me see. I gotta check the author on that. I meant to do it before I got on. James Rollins. He has a Sigma Force series. It's kind of like a cross between a little bit of Sherlock Holmes, like mystery kind of style stuff, but then it's also dealing with like cutting edge science. But then there's also some archaeology, some things that the past secrets from the past kind of answer the questions in the future. So it's got kind of that mix of the, Indiana Jones feel, but in a more modern world kind of a thing. Also, Matthew Riley, Seven Greatest Wonders. I think he did a series. He ended up making that into like a series, but the first book in that series to me is fantastic. It's got all the ancient tombs, puzzles, the little kind of supernatural element in it a bit like you would get with Indiana Jones and things. So that was a really fun one. I wasn't super big into the fantasy genre growing up. So, I'm familiar with C.S. Lewis and Tolkien and things. But probably my favorite fantasy series that I ever read was, I believe it's the Rhaenyra. There's two of them. There's the Rhaenyra Revelations and the Rhaenyra Chronicles, whichever one came first. But that's by Michael J. Sullivan. But he was a guy that he had tried, I guess, over and over again to get his works published, and nobody took him up on it. And so he finally gave up and said, I'm just going to write for myself. And so he started writing this book just in his basement, and he would read it to his wife and things. And then she finally convinced him, once he had written it, to try to get it published. And he got it published. It was like the first thing. And then he has like taken off. He's got all kinds of stuff now. But that first series that he wrote, they're huge. It's a trilogy, but each book is 2 books. So it's like 600, 700, 800 pages for every book. But I love it when like all the plot threads like come together like in a satisfying way. And I'm telling you, like the end of that series, like it was so satisfying. I don't know if there's ever been a series where I've been as satisfied with having everything all tied up in neat little bows. And it was just epic. So that was pretty fun also.
Well, you mentioned some names and some series I don't think Brina and I are familiar with, but you're gonna have to text us or drop it in the Discord that we're in, so everybody can find out about this.
Because one that's like mystery archaeology.
Yeah,
that's like my 2 favorite.
Yeah, that sounds up our alleys, respectively, for sure. But yeah, at first you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. So, well done, Jonathan. You're a good salesman, aren't you? You're really good at this. You've only been here 2 minutes and already you're beating us to death. But no, it's very, very good. It's very good stuff. I appreciate that. So just tossing this one back over to Brina. What made you decide to become a writer?
Oh, that would be probably because I had so many ideas for stories from my art. Like I started out loving art as a kid, and then I just draw things and I'd make up stories to go with it. And I had to be a writer. I had to create what was in my head that I was drawing and create the story out of it. So it kind of started at a very young age. So,
very young? What are we talking here? 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there? No, I'm just kidding.
Like 7, maybe.
That's a lucky number right there. Just make sure you always double down on 11. If you're sorry, I learned that from a movie. That's what happens, Jonathan. I've watched too many movies. But
walking quote.
Well, yes. There is a reason why they call me Ryan the Quote on the streets, Jonathan. So I just tend to quote stuff. When I think of movies, a movie script, quotes just come out of me. It just happens. It just happens.
My brother and I, we have a game where we will just randomly text each other a quote from a movie.
Really?
And then the game is we have to figure out which movie it is.
Oh,
are you serious?
Kill that.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, Jonathan, I don't know if you want me involved in this because I could probably defeat both of you at the same time.
You probably could. We kind of have like, it's more like the most obscure movies we can think of that we watched like growing up as kids. Mm-hmm. And we just got to see if we remember it still, So I don't know how good we would be like mainstream, but between each other, we have some fun times.
That is good, man. That's another fun fact about these nice young folk that we're learning about. By the way, people are here in the chat. They want to say hello to everybody. So Grayson says, hey guys, wish I could watch this live tonight, but I have to go to Din Din, also known as dinner. Make sure you support the Kickstarter and all your dreams will come true. So there you go. Grayson the Overcomer. Thank you, kind sir. And then Swordsman 007 says, still grinding tonight, but I wanted to pop in here. That's right. Pop in. Show some love, and I will watch the full show later on. And of course, I backed your Kickstarter. So there you go.
Thank you, Swordsman 007.
That is it. That is just beautiful stuff. You know what? I do have some stuff I want to go over here, but you know what? This person asked the question, so let's just chime right in for it. Buford T. Justice says, what is Merona Grant? What is that? So who wants to take this one? Let's go with the writer on this one.
Merona
Brina,
Grant.
who
I'm
is
so
Merona
bad at
Grant?
pitching.
What is it?
So, Merona Grant is a pulp adventure. It's following kind of a eclectic group of characters that are looking for Judas Iscariot's lost 30 pieces of silver, and there's tons of action, and there's like plain dogfights and curses and supernatural elements, and just a lot of I love characters. I love witty banter, so there's a lot of interactions with the characters. But the main character is Merona and her dog, and they're hired by kind of a rich aristocratic thrill seeker who's just sort of in the adventure for the fun of it, and then Merona has to sort of carry everything because she's a seasoned adventurer and can handle this stuff. And so it's a lot of fun characters interacting and getting into a lot of scrapes and barely pulling through. And yeah, it's very Indiana Jones, The Mummy, Tomb Raider, that kind of thing. So just sort of everything I loved growing up in that genre all rolled into one big, very thick novel. So.
I was going to say it's a nice looking sandwich. For sure. Buford T. Justice says that looks like a cool cover that's put together there. That was all her.
I worked long and hard on it. I'm the illustrator too.
That was all her, fellas. Brina Williamson's not just she's an artist.
If I can find some.
Mm-hmm.
I put illustrations in it for anyone who likes illustrations. I always grew up with like illustrations in my books, so I like putting illustrations in my books. And I have a sequel that's coming out this year that I'm working hard on the illustrations. I'm about halfway done the illustrations for that one. So done the book. It's all written and edited, but I just got to finish all the art and lay it out and get it published. So that one I have a sort of small sample of. This is the prequel to this one is Island of Devils. So it's a past adventure with Merona when she was a little bit less experienced, and she kind of gets thrown in the deep end when she gets stranded on an island.
So basically you're pulling a Temple of Doom. The sequel is actually a prequel.
Yeah, it was unintentional, but that's how it went. So I'm kind of following the Indiana Jones trilogy with this one.
Oh, I can dig it for sure. And then let me see. Buford says, "Hey, I like that staff that may or may not be featured on the cover. That's cool." Staff. I'm not sure if you're meaning the staff of Ra, because there's. Or no. Oh, I like that stuff. Cool. Sorry, I misread the question. It's Friday, guys. We've had a long week at the office. Jonathan can.
We're all tired.
We're all a little tired. Just a little. He says, "I like that stuff. It looks cool." And then he also says, "I was just thinking Indiana Jones. That's very nice. I like to be like you people."
Very Indiana Jones. Yes. A mix of indie. Laura, The Mummy, very much all three of those all rolled into one.
It's the best kind of sandwich you can ever have. It's like a BLT. He also says, "I'll look out for this. Bound to see it here in England." They're in England. Oh my gosh.
It is in England. It's on Amazon UK.
Well, that answers another question we were going to ask. But yes, looks good. TC, I'm all take care. I'm all out now. I got it. And then they say, "Well, I'm going to keep my eyes open for this one."
That's good.
That's fair. Whoa, man, goodness, these comments are coming in fast and furious. Jonathan, what made you decide to be I don't know I forget what your official title is because it's Friday, my brain is mush, but a producer, a director, what inspired you to become your insert occupation title here?
Editor.
Well, I've always really enjoyed pretty much anything media related, so I've just been kind of dabbling in it ever since I was a kid. Kind of really liked the audio side of things. It really kind of became my favorite kind of thing. And then I'm just a huge audio drama fan. I had a truck driving job for a while, which incidentally I now have again. But then I also did like a janitorial job for a while. So I was like constantly listening to like old time radio shows like The Shadow and Sherlock Holmes and even modern stuff. But with the things like We're Alive by Casey Wayland. But they really did like this like a fiction podcast format that they call it now, where they have, I mean, there's a million of them out there. If you type in fiction podcasts, there are a million of them, but essentially it's more than an audiobook. It's, it's the audio drama is like, basically think of it as listening to a movie, just without seeing the screen. So it's very immersive. You have to figure out how you can, allow people to see what's going on, but just, through their ears, their mind's eye. So it's very fun to do. But I used to listen to it all the time, and I also thought it'd be great to make it at some point. But of course, back when I'm trying to figure things out, the technology wasn't what it is today. And so the biggest thing for me was like music. I didn't want to make my stuff with like how do you get music?
Oh, I see. I see your point. And clearly we know that Jonathan's a busy man because he's talking to his producers in the backstage area of his studio saying, hey, keep it down here. We got a 5-star podcast going on, for Pete's sake. No, listen, it's fine. Brina, it's fine. We all have other commitments. We all have other crazy things going on in our lives. It's fine. But no, I hear what you're saying, though, Jonathan. You've been a fan of the old school type stuff like the Shadow and Tarzan, Kador, Kazar, maybe some Conan's Barbarians roaming around somewhere on your radio station. I dig it, man. I respect it. Listen, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, # not a sponsor of this show, but it is a good property when it has its moments. You know where I'm going with this. But there was a convention called the Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention, and what we did over there was there were these vendors there that would sell these old school radio programs. So I bought Orson Welles as the Shadow because the Shadow is my favorite pulp character, right? So that's going back to 150 years before I was even born, and that is some fascinating stuff because the Shadow is such a popular character, but it's been around for so long, which I didn't really know until I delve into listening to some of these, radio plays or audio dramas and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's fascinating stuff. There's a lot of history there, right? I mean, the three of us sitting here right now, we could probably put together our own history channel and kick more tail at doing it than what they're doing on network television. So, Jonathan, just say the word. I'll come over into your studio. We'll record something, brother. But,
we can hopefully have a lot of stuff coming up here. We'll see you. If the Kickstarter goes, then it'll be a lot faster. There'll be a lot faster. I told Brina that if I have to, pay for this whole thing myself, it's going to take a while. I would rather it not take 12 years to do the 12 episodes for the novel, but if it takes it, it's going to happen. So one way or another.
12 years. That's a lot of years. Thomas's writing journey actually has a question about that. He says, hi there. How many episodes are planned out for this audio drama from Merona Grant right now?
We are estimating, based on our pilot and the word counts or the page count in the book and just kind of the way things seem to be breaking up, we're estimating around 12. Each episode will probably be 30 to 45 minutes. I'd like to stick her closer to 30, but her dialogue in the book is very fun. It's extremely fun. So I hate to cut out the character interaction, any of it, so we might go a little longer to preserve it. Cause like I said, it's fun and I don't want to cut any of the fun out. So about 12 is what I'm thinking, 30 to 45 minutes each.
So now we have to listen to every single one of them starting tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. If they were available, they're not right now, but they will be. Cause when there's
pilot.
Hey, there is a pilot out there. Anyone can listen to it or watch it however you want. It's on your favorite podcasting platform. It's on YouTube. All the links are in the description below. For show, because we support. Once again, this is, and I quote, the special extended Better Late Than Never episode of, and I quote, with Brina Williamson and Better Late Than Never Jonathan of Invictum Digital. Sorry to throw that out there, but sometimes things happen. But don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. If you're joining us from replay, thank you for doing so. If you have any questions for these two brilliant strategic minds, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. I'm more than happy to take those as a come in respectively. Distance Nerding has a question for the field here. He says, are we considering this audio drama as a podcast? Is that how we will eventually get to the content? Is it podcasting platforms? How's it go?
That is correct. Yes. And it'll be through my podcast channel, which if you can search Merona Grant and the Lost Tomb of Golgotha, it'll show up, or you can search Invictum Digital. I think it's under Invictum Digital Presents is the official name of the channel, but you can get our RSS feed on our website, invictumdigital.com, or again, you can search it on any podcast, app that you typically use, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, it's pretty much available everywhere.
There you go. The answer is
that is how we would release it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Those that back it will get it to them early, but but yes.
Excellent, Smithers. Excellent. Thomas's writing journey says the pilot was superb.
Awesome. Very good.
That's high praise, brother.
Award winning.
It is. No, it is.
It
No,
is.
seriously. I mean, you got just out of curiosity, you've won like 4, 5, 6, 7 awards right now, right, Jonathan?
Well,
We've
awards
won
so
4
far?
and we're nominated for 4 more, right?
Mhm.
Yes,
The LA one?
there's only been two award shows so far this year. We're
Mhm.
entered into a bunch, but there's been 2 that there's been one that's happened. That was the Cusco Web Fest in Peru, and so yes, we won 4 awards in that one, which was amazing. But then we are also nominated for 4 more awards in the LA Web Fest, which is coming up in May. And then we actually just found out yesterday that we got nominated, or we got officially selected, like an early selection for the New Zealand Web Fest, which is going to be like in October. But they release a few early selections before they release everything else later on in the year. And we got in. So we'll see about the nominations for that one. They haven't announced that yet, but we got an early selection, which is something. So it's pretty fun.
Goodness
Exciting.
gracious. I know it is exciting. I mean, honestly, I'm hearing all this stuff, and all I got is this.
Yes! That's awesome!
I mean, it's just you two young, brilliant minds are just killing it in so many different departments. And by the way, Tom, let me see here. Distance Learning says it's on your site. I see it's on YouTube as well. That is awesome. That's great. The pilot episode, at any rate. Thomas's writing journey.
Real quick,
yeah, go ahead.
about the YouTube thing on YouTube. We wanted to make it available for people if they, there's like a nice little loop and things that play in the background. But Brina's illustrations that she puts in the book, when it comes to that time in the playing time,
Where the illustration pops up.
the illustration will pop up on the screen, and you kind of get a little extra for watching it.
If you watch it on YouTube
versus just listening to it.
See, this is why we pay these people the big bucks, guys. But Distance Learning says I just listened to the trailer on YouTube itself. The audio quality, the voice acting, amazing, simply amazing. And that's so amazing. I knocked over my show notes. That's illegal in this country. Thomas's writing journey says, how did you recruit your voiceover talent? I was impressed with all their performances. How did that happen? As Jonathan is consulting his
you might not have heard that one.
areas. Gee whiz.
Well, a lot of the talent are people that I know that I've worked with before, because I've made other things besides just this. So I've worked with a lot of talented people. I've got connections with a whole bunch more. So some of them were friends. I think for this one, I'm familiar with the work, with the work of all the actors that are involved in this one. Some of them, this is going to be the first time I've worked with them, but they're all stellar. I'm very, very picky when it comes to actors. But of course, I also wanted Brina to have a say in who plays what role, because, as a writer, you have this sound in your head, like, what does my character sound like? Sometimes you do. And so I really wanted to get Brina's ideas and thoughts on what they should sound like. So we've kind of coordinated on that final sound. But the actors and things are people that I've worked with, or that I am familiar with, and who have that I've wanted to work with, or they've wanted to work with me. And so we're really excited with the crowd that we have. Some super, super talented people.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I listened to the pilot like a lot of us have, and including those of you who are in the Men's Adventure Fiction Writers Discord. You know what I'm saying. I mean, honestly, I could just go on a walk, whatever, but I feel like I'm on this journey with the characters, because I can imagine it in the back of my mind. And obviously, when the illustrations come up on the YouTube portion of it, that helps, because as a visual learner and as a guy who's been watching movies since he was, yay high at the age of 3, Jonathan, I've been watching movies for over 30 bloody years. And I've seen a lot go down, but a lot go up. And I gotta tell you, this is stellar quality. It really is.
Well, thank you. It's very kind of you to say. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, no, it's 5-star. And Distance Learning just said multimedia at its finest.
Thank you.
See, everybody's giving us props, man. I'm telling you, this is why we get paid the big money. No, I'm just kidding. We don't get paid big money, but if we did, it'd be nice. Anyone know where we can win the lottery? Where are those lottery numbers? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What have been some of the biggest rewards for you kind folk of being in your respective fields, Brina, being a writer?
I mean, honestly, just like hearing from fans, reviews, hearing that people enjoy what I've done, because it's very much what I write is very much a labor of love. It's kind of something that I want. It's for me, but then hearing that it speaks to other people, that other people enjoy it. I've had a few guys who edit who told me, oh, I'm giving this to my daughter when she's old enough to read it. This is great. And so it's like hearing that it's like becoming a family favorite book in different households is really, really cool. So just, yeah, hearing from fans, hearing that from people that have enjoyed it is probably the most rewarding thing.
Right on, right on. What about you, Jonathan? Being a editor and piecing all together these wonderful stories extraordinaire. What are the rewards for you been like?
I like the collaboration process, honestly. I like getting to meet all these talented people and getting to work with them. And then, like, I don't know, it's just something very, very special about it to me. It's just enjoyable to me. I'm a pretty chill person, so, you know, I get along with most people. But then the really cool thing is when, like, you have this idea in your mind, all these puzzle pieces that you're kind of orchestrating and pulling together. And then that first moment, like when you get the dialogue in from your characters and you start to put it into your audio editing program and you actually hear the characters talking to each other with the dialogue all at the same time. And this is the cut that's going to be used. You know, it's seeing all those pieces just start to come together. That it's, I don't know, to me, that's like a really, really cool moment. It's not all polished yet. It's not all done. No sound design. It's just voices, but it's like, okay, now we have something. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely. Flip side of the coin, though, biggest challenges about being an editor there, Jonathan?
Time and money, because this is all well, it really started as a hobby, but I knew I wanted to make more stuff once I got going. But I have 4 children, so that's when you see me talking off screen. That is, you know, talking to the wife or the kids, getting ready for bed. But time is hard. This is not my day job. I said I have the truck driving job, you know, so I started at 3:45 this morning, and I came straight to the interview here after I got off late. Sorry about that. So finding time to work on it that does not take away, you know, all of my family time, because my kids are 8 and under. I've got 4, like I said, and I don't want to miss their growing up years. So finding time to work on it is rough. But then also like the money aspect of things. I don't care as much if I make money off of it or not. I mean, it'd be nice to, you know, subsidize my income with it. But like if we make our Kickstarter goal, everybody gets paid but me. And that's fine because I love to do this stuff. I want, you know, it to sound as good as it possibly can. And but the thing is, I hate asking people to volunteer, especially the kind of talented people that I'm, you know, working with. I don't want to say, hey, just give me free voiceover work, you know, give me free music composition work, Christian. You know, I'm not that kind of person. I think people should be paid well for their time. If it's just me paying for everything, which so far it has been in my life journey, I don't mind that, but I can only afford so much. So if the Kickstarter goes on, then I'll be able to pay people for their time and energy spent. I won't make anything, but at least we can proceed with the project, and I'm happy with that, you know. So those are the 2 biggest challenges: trying to find a way to pay people, and then finding the time to be able to do everything that you want to do and be a family man at the same time.
Yeah, man, goodness gracious. The love of your life and 4 munchkins, not 1, but 4. I mean, 4. I don't know how anyone can manage that. Lord knows I couldn't, but hey, more power to those who are parents and who are loving and giving parents. Cause you know, sometimes depending on who you ask, you know, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, depends on the situation that you're in, but hey, more power to you. Jonathan, all kidding aside, like more power to you. 4 munchkins, love of your life. That's great. We're happy for you, brother, for sure. And Distance Learning has a question for the field here. They pose, what is it like marketing a project such as this? And do you do Comic-Cons or other appearances at events?
Well, this is something I'm trying to figure out. I am just starting this journey. I started Invictum Digital. I have an LLC just to try to kind of put everything under one roof. And if I'm going to be making or, you know, paying people or possibly making money off of something, I need to, you know, some way to be able to contain it all. So I am very much trying to figure out marketing. Have not done any Comic Cons or anything like that yet. I've gone to a few award shows under the Invictum Digital name. So I've gotten a chance to connect with some different folks, a lot of great people, other creators and things like that. One of the biggest things, though, is you got to have stuff to market. So I want to make sure that I have, justifiable content for the amount of money that I'm spending on marketing. And I know you still got to, spend money on marketing and things. But then right now, again, with just starting out, you got to choose. Are you going to make things, or are you just going to advertise it? You only have so much money to go around. So I've been just trying to do as much as I can with social media and things. If we can figure out a way to make the money thing work, i.e. the Kickstarter, hopefully, then we could look into doing more things, advertising and maybe travel and things like that. But so far, this is just getting started. So I am happy to take advisement on any and all advertising strategies.
So basically, you're a Padawan learning the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like your father. Okay, cool. Yes. That's what I'm here for, because I've watched all the Star Wars movies. I've watched most of the shows, so I know what's going. No, I'm just kidding. It has nothing to do with this. But if you need someone to help you guide you and help you feel the Force around you, just let me know. I'm happy to help you in any way, shape, or form that I can. If you need East Coast representation here, because I'm in Maryland, USA, over here on this little thing called the map, and it's like up here somewhere. So Buffalo, I'm right New there. York here. Yeah. So if you need East Coast representation, or you need help, at events or tabling, whatever, give me a holla, and I will do it for you. Okay, awesome. I'm here to help you. That. We're gonna Jerry Maguire this thing. We're gonna help you, help me. We're gonna show you the money. Okay. And we're going to have fun doing it. And, man, Distant Journey's got all these questions, and they got to follow. They say, where do the story inspirations come from outside of doing the Merona Grant one?
Oh, for other stories?
Yeah, for other stories. Like, where do the story inspirations come from? Whether it's you, Brina, with your writing, or you, Jonathan, with your editing for your other projects or whatever it is you're working on. So, Brina, you can take it as far as you're writing.
Oh, I'm just saying, my inspiration comes from pretty much everywhere. I get inspired from movies, books, just things I see going for a walk or out and about, conversations with people. There is no one answer. It's everything inspires me in different ways. I definitely, early on, I think I got inspired a lot from I'd draw something and it would spark an idea and I'd create things from that. Yeah, sometimes it's just a single line of dialogue in a book or a movie that will inspire an entirely different story in my head. So just everything.
Again, I would second that. And just, things that you read, things that you listen to, things that you watch. I'm still listening to things all the time. Especially, I really like to listen to stuff that's, better quality than my own. So I know what to shoot for, that sounds really good. Yeah. I want to be like that. So I have to try to figure out how I can make it sound like that, So yeah, that definitely inspired by so many different things. Yeah. I can't point to one single specific thing.
It's kind of pointing to that Michelle Yeoh movie that came out some time ago, Everything Everywhere All at Once. So yeah, it's everywhere.
I haven't seen that one, but I've seen the trailer. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know. Michelle Yeoh, if you're watching this, good to see you. Loved you and Tomorrow Never Dies. That was my introduction to you because I'm a Bond fan. I'm a James Bond fan. So just saying. Distant Journey goes on to say, having Ryan interview you kind folk is a great start. All of us YouTubers and podcasters love to support creators like y'all.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Support goes a long way, folks. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? Wouldn't we agree? Once again, this is the team building, never be late for an employment in your life episode of And I Quote with Jonathan Winstead of Invictum Digital and New York Times bestselling author Brina Williamson here on this episode. Do not forget that's right. Don't sugarcoat it, Brina. Don't sugarcoat it. Let us know your thoughts about this in the comments. Do not forget, if you're watching this from the replay, thank you. And if you have any questions for these two bright young Padawan learners of the Force, let us know in the comments.
I like this interview just because he keeps calling me young. That's awesome.
Well, we're all young, man. Come on. I mean, we don't look a day over 25. It happens. It works. I don't care. It's I mean, we can be anything we want to be. It's the 90s. I mean, it's the 90s, Stan. I'm just saying. But outside of that, though, oh, goodness gracious. What advice would you give to those who are aspiring writers out there, Brina?
Oh, I think I said that on the last episode, but I mean, last time I was saying start small, start with short stories, just because you can learn how to pull people in with a hook and build to a finale and make it satisfying. And I think short stories allow you to play and just explore your different writing voice and style and genres and all that sort of stuff. But another piece of advice I would give that worked or helped me personally, I started writing mysteries when I was sort of first starting out. And I think trying mysteries, it probably feels daunting for a lot of people, but I think they kind of teach you a lot of things that help write good fiction, like, you know, peppering little bits of information that are going to come in later. So foreshadowing and just how to write natural dialogue that imparts a lot of important information for the story, but it has to feel natural or the mystery falls apart. So I just feel like mysteries, if you're willing to take the challenge of trying to write a mystery for your sort of trying out things for the first time, I learned a lot from writing mysteries. I have little mysteries that I wrote that I never published, but my first novella was a mystery. And yeah, I think you can learn a lot by reading and studying that genre and then trying to write it and learn the different tricks of it. So
in fact, it's elementary, my dear Brina. So all right. I've watched too many episodes of what is it called? Elementary on CBS, the one with Johnny Lee Miller and Lucy Liu. Has anyone ever seen that?
I have seen
really good. It's really
How many
good.
seasons does that one have?
Seven.
Oh wow! I've probably only seen like the first two.
Oh well, those normally what we say in television is sometimes the earlier seasons are the best rather than the later ones. I mean, depending on who you ask. But no, seriously, all 7 seasons are really good. But I think the early like seasons 1 through 3, if not 1 through 4, are very good, very good. And then in 5, 6, 7, they kind of like branch out a little more. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry, Jonathan. What were you saying?
I was just saying, I think I saw the first season of that. Incidentally,
Graham
Rowett, who plays Lord Faybridge in our drama, he was actually on that show in an episode or 2.
Are you serious?
Yep. Very talented guy. Very super nice guy too.
Who did he play on Elementary? Who was he?
He was some kind of an attorney. I know.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Owen Wilson. Wow. Man, that's something else. That's fantastic, man. See all these different connections. It's interesting. But before I get to some of these individuals' questions here in the chat, Jonathan, what advice would you give to aspiring editors out there, people who want to piece together these great projects that you've done yourself?
Listen to stuff that's better than yours. You know, keep listening to all kinds of things because everybody has something to teach you. Everybody has like their own style, and then don't be afraid to like reach out to people too and ask them, how did you do that? I mean, I have gotten so much good advice from super talented sound designers. And just because I asked them, I'm like, I love what you did. How did you do that? Do you mind me asking? You know, if it's a trade secret, I'm not going to steal it from you, you know, but if you want to talk, you know, shop, like, how did you do that? Or better yet, if you get to a spot where you're trying to do something and you don't know how to do it, then don't be too afraid to ask someone that knows how do you do it? I would not be anywhere near where I am right now if it was not for the advice that I've gotten from so many other sound designers. So I really feel like anytime if we get like an award for sound design or something like that, I'm like, I gotta thank like 25 people for that because it's definitely not all me. Like I don't think any one person has enough creative power in their heads to, you know, do every single thing, obviously. So don't be afraid to glean from other people and ask for advice and help. And, but just keep listening to stuff because it's inspiring, you know, to hear what other people do. And then you try to, you know, use that inspiration to create something special of your own too.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk. We'll see you next week, fellas. No, it's great. No, seriously, it's great. I'm just joshing you there, man. But no, all sincerity, it's good stuff, good advice, good pieces that you've learned from people, individuals in other fields. It's great. I mean, I've learned stuff too. Being a podcaster, so I completely understand where everybody is coming from. What is it? Thomas asks, what pushed or motivated you, Jonathan, into doing this specific project or other project that you have done with Invictum Digital?
Well, first and foremost, I'm just a huge audio drama fan. Like I really like them. There's like an element to it that to me is always going to be better than a movie, in the idea that you're like, the visual that your mind is creating can be so much more than what you would see on a movie screen. And so I think just having that freedom to make the characters what you will in your mind, or to have them, have, I don't know, there's just so much more freedom. I like the imagination aspect of it, I should say. So that is why I love the audio world. Also, it just really comes naturally to me to work with the audio. So there's that. As far as this project goes, I saw a picture of Brina's book on Instagram. It was like in a stack of someone's books, and I saw it, and I saw the cover art, and anything in the vein of Indiana Jones, my favorite movies of all time. Yep, there it is. Anything in the vein of Indiana Jones just looks interesting to me. So I end up buying it and, reading it, or buying different things, watching a movie because it reminds me of Indiana Jones, that spirit of adventure. And so I saw the book, no idea who Brina was, no idea about the book, nothing. I just bought it based on the cover art alone, and ended up reading it in a couple days. And just the whole time I'm reading it, I'm like, this book would be an amazing audio drama. And like the character dialogue was making me laugh. And I'm like, the way that she writes it, like, it's almost like she wrote it for an audio drama. I know she didn't, but like, it's just very easy to adapt with her writing style. And so after I finished reading it, I'm like, man, I would love to listen to this as an audio drama. And I don't know if anyone else would make it. If they made it, I would buy it immediately because it's awesome. And then I thought, it'd be great. Like, I'd be willing to make it. And so I thought, I'm just going to cold call Brina essentially and say, hey, I know you don't know me from Adam, but I think your book is awesome, and I think it would make an amazing audio drama. Can we talk about it? And fortunately, she said yes, and so here we are.
Yeah, basically, you made her an offer she couldn't refuse. You pulled a GF Godfather on her. Yeah.
My 1930s adventure getting turned into essentially a radio play. Like, how can I say no?
Mm-hmm.
It's and the fact that there are actors playing my characters now, it's still surreal to think about. I'm like, no, what? Me? I'm nobody.
That it's crazy, isn't it? But it's what am I trying to say here? Fantastic. Distance learning says, if I'm pulling this up right, let me see, where were we? Oh yeah. What have you learned about yourself or storytelling going from Savage Walking to Invicta Collective to Merona Grant, Jonathan?
Well, it's Savage Waking, although everyone in the world says Savage Walking, so that is
Walking
not new. Exactly, that's where it comes from. Yeah, but anyway, what have I learned about myself and storytelling? I don't know. I enjoy telling good stories. I have worked with some really talented writers, obviously, for all of these. I have collaborated on the writing process for Savage Waking and the Invicta Collective. For Merona Grant, obviously, that's all Brina's doing. But I like taking the story, because there's a little bit of a art to it, because you don't have a visual. You have to, kind of like Brina was saying, like there's like this, like there's a natural flow to dialogue. Dialogue has to sound natural. So like if we are in a room and a pink elephant walks across the room in front of us, I'm not going to turn to you and be like, hey, did you just see that pink elephant that walked from that side of the room and went out that door over there? I don't have to say all that. I'm just going to say, hey, did you just see that? But if all you have is audio, you can't have a character be too descriptive of things, because then it comes across as unnatural. So I really like the puzzle process of trying to figure out how to convey to the listener the details that they need to be able to understand what's going on, whether that's through the dialogue or the sound design. You can do a lot with sound design. But I like figuring out that puzzle process. I don't know. To me, it's just a fun thing. How can I make this sound really, really natural and tell the audience things in a way that feels natural and not like they're being told exactly like everything's going on, So I don't know. I have found that I really enjoy that puzzle process.
Just don't turn out like Edward Enigma did in Batman and the Riddler, because that's just creepy stuff, man. Have you seen that 3-hour movie, The Batman? I mean, it's some creepy, weird stuff. Good movie though. But 30 minutes could have been trimmed off that movie, with all due respect. It could have been an easy 2.5 hour film. Why'd you have to make it 3 hours, Matt? I like you, Matt, but 3 hours is pushing it, dog. By the way, let's see here. Distance Learning goes on to say, and of course, we're in the age of what is known as connected projects, the multiverse, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do the other stories relate / connect to each project there, Jonathan? You pulling a Kevin Feige and pulling the veil over our face, or are you just taking this one story as its own standalone at a time?
At this point, one story at a time. Although, if we do get to continue with the Invicta Collective again, it's the time and the money problem. I will continue it, but again, probably just one or two. If the Kickstarter thing doesn't work out, it'll probably be like I'll be able to make like an episode or two a year of the Invicta Collective and Merona Grant. At least that would be my plan. Going to use the tax returns to try to fund some of that. So. It would be cool, and I mentioned it to Brina at some point. Whether we do or not is totally up in the air, but it would be kind of cool to have like maybe some of the characters of the Invicta Collective run across, Merona Grant at some point in some way. Not that the stories necessarily will intersect anything other than probably just like an Easter egg. But right now, no, I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm not. Don't have a grand plan to have everything connect. Just different adventures for their own sakes.
No, that's okay. You don't have to pull a James Gunn like he's trying to do with the DC Cinematic Universe right now with rebooting Super Loop. Superman, the greatest of all time, hits theaters in the month of July. James, don't mess this up for me, okay? I've been a diehard Superman fan for like almost 20 years because of that hit TV series Smallville, all right? Don't mess with my Superman. Don't do it. Anyway. Outside of that, one thing you don't have to worry about is the fact that this is a standalone episode of Anti-Quote. It is not interconnected to all 50,000 episodes of Anti-Quote that we've done in the last 5 years or so. Don't forget to like and share this with all your closest friends. And if you're joining us live on the replay, thank you for doing that. If you have any questions for these brilliant minds here, such as Brina and Jonathan, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. I've been having to take those as they come in. Let's see here. Distance Learning. Let me see. Thomas says, the cover of Merona Grant caught my eye as well. Yeah, because it's one of the best covers since sliced bread, man. It's just a fact. Just get with it, Thomas. Get with it.
It's a good one.
It is. It's one of the best in the world.
Sweat and tears into that cover.
And it works. It works. It's what we call, in our good friend Magneto's terms, perfection. It's perfection. Distance Learning says audio drama. You got YouTube plans for other media, Jonathan. We have friends such as the Oak Bridge Show that are doing their show into comic books / graphic novels into animation. Any thoughts?
One of the stretch goals that we had in my Kickstarter campaign for the Invicta Collective was a very grand stretch goal. A graphic novel would be awesome to do, I think. And I think Brina's book would be awesome as a graphic novel as well, although it would be a massive graphic novel. But I think it would be worth it. I don't know if she wants to draw all of that, but it would be awesome. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's the time and the money thing. I'm not an artist. I'd have to hire someone to do something like that. Brina, I don't know how much time she has to devote for that. If she has any plans for that, I'll let her speak to her thing. But, yeah, I mean, if there was enough time and there was enough money, sure.
Rock on. So, in other words, it's the kind of the double-edged sword that we've talked about a few times over the years. Time is money. Money is time. You got to spend money if you want to make money. Yeah, but you got to make it to spend it, brother. So, double-edged sword, catch 22, as one might say. And then Distance Learning goes on to say, there it is, the crossover tease. Just heard a moment ago.
I'm down for Merona crossover. That would be fun.
I think that would be boss. You know why? Because then we can point to somebody in the book or the audience. That man is playing Galaga.
Yes.
Probably wouldn't notice, but we did. Thomas says that would be cool. The crossover, crossing the streams there, Jonathan. That would be boss. Let's see. Distance Learning says I like that you added imagery to the YouTube version over there for the pilot episode. Yeah.
Well, it's like she spent all this time doing all this art, and so I mean, you get to hear the story in the audio, but you totally miss out on the art. So YouTube, we're gonna showcase the art.
Yep, and you can find that. It's good. So Thomas says yes, do it. So just cross the streams, Jonathan. Just cross the streams. Even though Egon keeps telling us, don't cross the streams. Why? It could be bad. I'm a little fuzzy on the whole good bad thing. What do you mean bad? Try to imagine every molecule in your body and everything around you exploding at the speed of light. Total platonic reversal. Okay, that's bad. All right, that good safety tip. Thanks, Egon. Anyway, sorry, I just quoted a movie that's 40 years old, and I still remember it. It's weird. These quotes, something just comes out of me. You know, it's just one of those things. Oh goodness gracious almighty. It's we're having too much fun here. With that being said, let's talk about the good thing, what is known as the elephant, not the pink elephant in the room, but the elephant in the room. Let's talk about this Kickstarter here for a minute, Jonathan, Brina, if you don't mind. For the viewers or listeners listening or watching at home, should just out of curiosity, Jonathan, Brina, should we play the promo that goes along with this Kickstarter? Should we play for the worldwide television audience?
Sure.
If you'd like to, sure.
Let's play. Let's have some fun with this. Take a look at the trailer for this award, soon to be award-winning.
Is this the trailer or the?
Well, this is a promo for the Kickstarter. It's not the trailer.
Well, no. But what I mean is the promo for the Kickstarter. Is it all right if I play it, or you not?
Yes, totally fine.
Okay, because I was gonna say, come on, man, we're doing this for you. But yeah, here we go. Take a look at this, folks. The following preview has been approved for all audiences. It's got the green band on it. Look at the dot.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Winstead. I'm a fan and creator of audio dramas here at Invictum Digital. I'm also a huge fan of anything in the vein of adventure, so anything similar to Indiana Jones would get me excited. A few years ago, I came across an Instagram post that had a picture of this book, Merona Grant and the Lost Tomb of Golgotha by author and artist Brina Williamson. It looked interesting to me. I had no idea what it was about. I bought it, and in a few days, I read it cover to cover, and I fell in love with the characters, I fell in love with the story, the humor, and I thought to myself multiple times as I was reading, this would make an incredible, exciting audio drama. So I actually reached out to the author, to Brina, and I said, Brina, would you be interested in us adapting this book into an audio drama? Fortunately, she was game for the idea, so we have been working very hard for the last couple years on making it a reality. We've already released a pilot episode that you can listen to now on your favorite podcast app. But what we're trying to do now is raise money to continue the adaptation of the book. We have a fantastic cast of voice actors, a talented composer, a lot of talented people involved in this, and we are excited to bring you more. So check out our Kickstarter campaign, and if you're able to help us out, we sure would appreciate it. Invictum Digital is a very, 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 very small studio, and we could use your support. Even if you can't donate monetarily, your sharing gift could make all the difference for us, whether we succeed or fail. So if you like adventure, and if you enjoy our pilot episode, or if you've read the book and enjoy the story, I guarantee you, if you read the book, we're going to be very, very faithful to her original vision and story. So if you liked the book, you will like the audio drama. But we just want to be able to make the entire book, or adapt the entire book into an audio drama. So if you're able to help us out in any way, we would sure appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Brina Williamson, author of Merona Grant and the Lost Tomb of Golgotha. I'm also an artist, so I love to fill my books with illustrations for an immersive reading experience. Growing up watching movies like The Mummy and Indiana Jones and exploring lost worlds in games like Tomb Raider inspired me years later to write this book for my younger self. Initially, it started as an idea for a short novelette, but quickly grew into a full-length novel following title character Merona Grant and her motley crew on their search to find Judas Iscariot's lost 30 pieces of silver. Over time, a small but loyal fan base of readers has grown to love the book and its characters, which inspired me to expand it into a series, and I recently finished the prequel novel titled Merona Grant and the Island of Devils, which I plan to release later this year. When Jonathan reached out to me with the idea to adapt my novel into an audio drama, like the classic radio plays of old, I jumped at the chance to hear my characters and dialogue brought to life, and I've been thrilled at how faithful and respectful he's been in adapting my work. The cast he's put together has done a stellar job in their roles, and the composer's score has been an absolute treat for the ears. With the amazing job they've all done on this first pilot episode, I absolutely cannot wait to see what they create with these next episodes.
I mean, you know, if you're looking for that type of thing, this is your wheelhouse, folks. I mean, if you miss the days of old, you know, old school indie because there was only a trilogy. You know, you missed The Mummy because there was really only one, if not two. And then if you missed Tomb Raider, there was a few of those as well. I mean, this is our one-way ticket to paradise, right? So I say support the gosh darn thing. I mean, look, you guys are already at 21% of your goal. You got 11 backers, 938, moolah in the bank. It's fantastic. I think you're off to a roaring start, wouldn't you say, Jonathan?
I would say so. I'm pleased with where we are right now. Yep. We're not even through the first week yet, so it's cool to basically get pretty close to 25%. You know, so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So why don't we go over some of the rewards that people can get if they back this campaign or they pledge to it? Why don't we go over this? So what are we looking at here? This first one.
So this first one is $10 or up to $10, and you get basically a thank you from us. We have a digital postcard we'll have signed from us. We'll send that to you. So then if you go to $25, we'll have a section on our website where we will put your name on there and say, forever, as long as we have the website with the drama, we'll have your name in the section. You are a contributor. We want to publicly thank you. And then we're going to have some cool digital wallpapers for your PC and phone if you would like to have those. For all of these tiers, you can get the optional add-ons of the Merona Grant novel itself, which is the book, obviously, that Brina is holding up there. The awesome thing that started it all. Definitely worth reading if you haven't read it. Even if you listen to the drama first, it would still be worth reading the book because there's just so much more that's in the book than we could ever, dramatize. So it's definitely worth buying. But then we also have the Merona Grant T-shirt with several different colors and several different lots of different sizes, but that's from our friends over at Pirate Hog. They're supplying those. So then we have the limited edition poster package, which basically has the stuff we've already talked about. It also adds the high quality downloads. If you like the WAV files of things, you don't want the MP3 off the websites, we'll give you those ad-free high quality downloads, episodes 1 through 4. I'll make a 30-second video saying thank you. I'll make it personalized. I won't just make one video and send it to everybody. But then we also have the limited edition Merona Grant book cover poster. So her awesome art that we've already talked about many times, that's on the front of the book. We have a poster, and we will send that to you if you pledge $75 or more. Then we have the Adventure Lover package, which basically then adds the soundtrack download. Christian Pousland, who is from the UK, from Shouting is Funny. They have a podcast called The Chronicles of Wild Hollow, which is really fun. But he is doing the music for us. All the music that you heard in that little promo that you just played is all from the drama. It's all Christian's original score. But that will add that for the Adventure Lover package, as well as the digital scripts that we are using for episodes 1 through 4, if you like that kind of stuff. You also get the poster for that one as well, I believe. There's the Adventure Lover, which gives you a bunch of the digital stuff. But then if you go a little bit further, there's an adventure. Oh, well, this one. Yeah, there's an Adventure Lover that has a ton of stuff in it. We'll get to that, I guess. But the next one that you just scrolled to will give you the coin necklace package. So Brina is wearing it right now, but this is the necklace that the character Merona wears in the book. It's a British West African coin, and we actually have the real authentic coin pendant that we will send you if you pledge $125 or more. You can wear it as a necklace, or I don't know, do whatever you want with it. Yeah. You probably can't spend it at the store. Would only buy not very much.
You can't spend it? It's not worth 10,000 Republic credits? Oh,
unfortunately, no.
I was hoping to buy myself I was hoping to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters.
But who knows? With all the books that Brina's making, once her things get turned into a movie, I'm sure they will probably be worth something.
Universal Pictures is going to pick her up and be like, "Hey, you're going to do some winks and nods to Brendan and Rachel, and we like that. So we're going to bring your property over to here, and maybe Brendan and Rachel will make an appearance in your first movie." And it'll be a nice little wink and a nod to the 99 Mummy series. How about that, Brina? Wouldn't that make your day? I think it would.
Oh, that would be beyond surreal.
That would be cool. So no, not spendable now, but hopefully one day.
Ah.
And then we have a character collector cards package. Now, obviously, Brina has done some awesome art for these characters. So how could we not have
all from the cover? But you can see more of them. So it's individual characters from the cover. With their own
so we're going to have a set of 6 different cards featuring all the main characters from the book, and Argos the dog, of course, is going to be one of them. You can't not have the dog. So
I think one of our friends in the Discord said Grayson said that Argos is the best or his favorite character in the whole book.
Yes,
he is great. It's very tricky to work with him in the audio, but we're giving it a best shot.
My dog always gets excited when she hears Argos in the audio. Like if I listen to it for stuff, she always is like, "Where's the dog? Where's the dog?"
Awesome. Well, if you are willing to support us for $250 or more here, we will have a couple of these. We've got 10 of these available, but basically you get all the digital stuff we were talking about, but then you get also the coin necklace, you get the set of digital trading cards, you get the poster. And I believe this one also does it have the limited edition signed
books? Maybe.
No, it does not. But you get everything else, everything but
everything that we've listed previously. Yeah.
Yes, everything listed previously, plus one of the pendants for the necklace and one of the collector's cards and the poster. Then the advertising package, if you want to have your business advertised on our site, this would be one to consider. We'll have your name and stuff on the thank you section, but then we will also put a digital ad for your business on the site. So that will be, good for you. We'll also mention you in every credit of every episode. So that, again, is just something to consider. That one, I think, is unlimited. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Plus you get all the digital goodies and stuff.
Yeah.
All the goodies. Yeah.
Yes, but I will say family-friendly content only.
Yes, it says it, and it says it there.
It does say it there. I just wanted to put that in there just in case.
Yep, family-friendly content only, folks. But if you keep it G or PG, right on the edge, other than skewing the edge there, the little piece of toast there that goes into PG-13 territory. Put the butter on the toast. Maybe too much, but yeah, G or PG. You keep it, Disney. Partially Universal before they started having a rating system, because all the Universal monster movies from like the 1930s, 40s, and 50s are like not rated, or they're rated G or something. I don't know. It's crazy. But that was the time, right? Things were made their product of their time, and we didn't really. I don't think we had the MPAA back then, and if we did, it was very limited. So what, they make 50 million of those? Sorry, that's referring to a car. But you catch my drift.
Yes, but yeah, if you have a question on if your business is family friendly, feel free to reach out on the Kickstarter and I will get back with you right away.
Excellent. Van says, I see, let's see here. I think if we scroll back up here for just a second, the adventure package, someone's already claimed one of the 10 that are available. So there you go.
There's only 9 left. Yep.
Someone's claimed.
They're going fast.
Well, here's a question for the field. Jonathan, more specifically for you. If someone backs the Kickstarter, but they want to change their backing, they went from a $25, but they want to switch it to the $50 level, are they allowed to go in and do that?
I believe that is true.
Right.
As long as the
campaign
is still going on, I believe you are allowed to change your level.
Right. So, hey, $100 is good, but I don't know. I'm feeling got this itch I need to scratch. I think it says $250 on it. Do I, if I feel like spending $250, can I do that? I think that's okay to do in a Kickstarter, right?
It would be okay with us for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, if a duffel bag of cash suddenly shows up on my doorstep one day and be like, hey, this Kickstarter means more to me than anything else right now. Let's go and spend the $250, fellas. What do you think? I think we should. Yeah.
Yes.
So that would suffice. Okay, cool. So Jonathan and I can still be friends. That's fantastic. So,
yes.
Like Jonathan said, if you have any questions, let them know. We are going to go ahead and do the honors of dropping the link to this Kickstarter in the comment section of this episode of And I Quote below. So check it out. Go pledge, back it, because this is the best thing since sliced bread. Hashtag those are the facts, and they are undisputed. So if you go to our YouTube comments, the Twitch stream, or the Facebook stream, the link to the Kickstarter is there right now. You can go ahead and back it. Share it out with your friends, too, because every little bit helps. Whether you're contributing $1, $2, $5, You know,
and see,
70,
like
7
the
cents.
sharing gift,
Yes.
which I always put in there, is it's people underestimate what their share could do.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, Ryan, like it could be that someone just walked to their stoop and they found that giant bag of money on their front step, and they're just like, they're crying in their living room right now because they cannot for the life of them think of what they're going to do with it. And so you never know, you're sharing, you know, which brings such joy to that person's heart that they now have a purpose for that money, you know, that kind of thing. But really, it only takes one. I will say, I had a friend who was trying to make some audio dramas.
Really?
And they had a bunch of scripts that were fantastic, but they were just having a problem finding funding. It randomly, somebody got in touch with them and didn't just, you know, pay for one, but paid for all of the production for all of their scripts, which is fantastic because what they're going to release is going to be awesome. I'm not at liberty to say, you know, what all that is, but like all it takes is one person, you know, that's inspired or that wants to just, you know, support, you know, a bunch of independent artists that are trying to do something fun, you know? So yeah, your sharing gift would be awesome. If you can't do financial, totally understand, but you know, if you can share, that'd be awesome. We'd appreciate all of it.
Yeah, and we actually here at Anti-Quote Studios, we actually know a lot of individuals who are running Kickstarters at this time. So if you have any questions, you want to follow up with them at any point, let us know. Jonathan, I can send you some names, some individuals if you need them. But yeah, for those of you who do watch Anti-Quote or you support the show, by the way, thank you all for watching or listening to this episode of Anti-Quote with Brina Williamson and Jonathan Winstead of Invictum Digital. Don't forget to like and share this. And if you're watching this live on a replay, thank you for doing that. If you have any questions for these kind folk, let us know. Comments, let us know in the chat if you want to have it take us as they come in. The Kickstarter link is available to you in the comments section of this episode, so check it out. Back the campaign if you can. Sharing is caring, okay, kids? Sharing is caring, okay? Don't play with your toys. Share with other people in your class. You know, sorry, I that sounded weird, but you catch my drift, Jonathan. You catch my drift.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, though, favorite Indiana Jones movie and why, Jonathan?
I'd have to say Raiders because like that's what started everything, you know. I mean, just that
the benchmark, right?
That feeling that I get or that I remember having when I watched Raiders for the very first time. And it's like everything, it colors like everything that I get involved with. It's like, how close does this book, this movie, this soundtrack, how close does it get me to the feeling that I had while watching Raiders for the first time? I've never had anything else strike me like that. So I love the third one, you know, Last Crusade, but I'd have to say it's got to be Raiders. It's got to be.
It's okay. It's the benchmark. It's the one that started it all. I completely understand it. Brina, what was your favorite Indiana Jones film?
I can't pick. It's Raiders and Crusade.
They're
together.
tied.
Like I can't. I like those.
They're too good.
They're too good.
They're too good to separate. You just gotta keep them as one. Right?
I gotta watch them back to back every time.
Oh, do you? Okay. Fair enough. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, but I didn't get a chance to say this earlier, and I apologize that I didn't. But for those of you who are watching and listening to this episode of Anti-Quote right now, Jonathan, when you walked into the studio, the first thing I was going to say, Mr. Brody, Marcus Brody, sir, where's Indy? You know, it's because, you know, you came in out of nowhere, right? And Salah's like, Mr. Brody, you know, it's just, if I were wearing the outfit and I had a fez on, I would, and I had a little bit more of this going on, my 5 o'clock shadow going in, I would have greeted you as Salah, because I'm actually potentially going to see Salah himself this weekend at a Comic-Con in Washington, D.C. John Rhys Davies is going to be in the building, along with his fellow castmates, Liv Tyler and Orlando Bloom from Lord of the Rings. So,
nice.
If I see John tomorrow, because one of the things I was going to say to him is my favorite scene in the whole one of my favorite scenes in Last Crusade is when you punch the guy in the face with a newspaper. When him and Brody are walking down the street and those guys, you know, say, hey, you know, the Museum of Antiquities is at the golf for you. And they says, there is no museum in Iskandar, you know. And then he says, papers, of course, run. Yes. You know, Marcus is like, I don't know what you're trying to say. Run. And then he punches the guy in the face. You remember that? I'm going to be like, look, dude, John, what was it like filming that? How many takes, what was it for you to punch that guy right in the face with a newspaper? Did it take one or did it take like 3 or 4? You know?
I
laughed
be a
so
cool
hard at
person
that
to me
part.
right there.
I know, right? But I would laugh so hard every time that part comes up. Do you ever find yourself doing that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many parts. I don't know. I don't know. I just find myself like, I don't know. I get like into this like mode where it's almost like
what is it?
It's almost like a trance-like kind of a thing where I'm just watching it. I'm just like so engrossed in the story, and everything's just like making me smile. And I don't know. It's just it's awesome. It's just it always makes me feel really good when I'm watching them.
Understandably so. Have you ever dressed up as Indiana Jones for Halloween with the family at one point?
I have not yet.
Does that mean is this going to happen in 2025 this year? Is it going to go down?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never been big into the costume thing. Not that I have anything against it at all. I just haven't done it. So, but with the kids getting older, it's definitely something I should consider. Yep.
Yeah. I dress up as Indiana Jones when I go to Comic-Con sometimes. So there's a fun fact for you. If you need help, I'll help you find the pieces of the costume. Yeah. I know people, Jonathan. I have connections. Good. Yeah. It's just, I know there's a fence. There's only one way he can sell it. It's in Marrakesh. I need $2,000. Sorry, that's a Raiders quote. Raiders. But yeah, my favorite is Last Crusade because that was the first one I ever saw. I saw everything in reverse. I saw every movie franchise that's ever been around for more than 2 minutes. I've seen every movie in reverse. I saw Terminator 2 before T1, right? You saw Last Crusade before you saw Raiders and TOD, which stands for Temple of Doom, for those of you keeping track of the score at home. I saw, what was it? I think I saw, maybe I saw Return of the Jedi first before I saw New Hope and Empire. And that's why Return of the Jedi for the longest time was my favorite one, I think. And then it turned out my favorite one turned out to be Force Awakens, which I know that's going to cause a hot take in the comments. But still, Force Awakens is a good film, fellas. Okay, it's a good movie. All right, it's one of the few that Disney actually got right. Rogue One's a movie they got really right. That's another solid one. Outside of that, I don't know what they did because they had no idea what they were doing. But, I mean, Brina, Jonathan, and I could come up with a better story than that, right? I mean, we're all writers here. I mean, Jonathan's an editor. Brina and I are award-winning writers. We know what we're doing. And, no, we're not award-winning yet, but Brina and I are going to become that at some point. It's gonna happen, fellas.
Working towards it.
I'm just waiting to see in any of these festivals that we hopefully will get this thing into. There's got to be a best writing category. I'm going to be very disappointed if Brina doesn't win one of those.
I mean, yeah, you got to win one for writing, Brina. It's got to happen at some point. I mean, you were born for it.
I did my best. Well, just hopefully.
No. She'll win one, John. She's gonna, because I said this to Brina. I said this to Brina a few weeks ago, Jonathan, in the Discord. I said you're gonna have a few of these right here. You're gonna have not these books, but you're gonna have a few golden statues for like best writer of the year, best this, that, and the other. You're gonna be sitting them on your shelf or your mantle here pretty quick. And I thought, yeah, Brina's gonna kill it. She's gonna own it for sure.
Be all over these shelves.
All over those shelves behind her in her studio. Which, by the way, Brina makes everyone else's studio look like child's play because her studio and the way everything is laid out is, once again, it goes back to what Magneto said earlier. Perfection. I mean, look at this. Look at all those books. The classics, the modern stuff, the stuff she's written, the stuff that she's interested in piecing together, right? Because you got a few ideas in the pipeline, right? So she's got all this stuff, and it's amazing. And all I'm going to say is, Jonathan, that life finds a way. So, by the way, Distant Cerny says, thanks for chatting with Ryan as well as with us during the course of this program. Thomas says, Return of the Jedi, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. That's how I rank the original trilogy. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that ranking at all. There's really no right or wrong way to rank the original trilogy. Some of the other stuff there is. But with this, there's no right or wrong way, right, Jonathan? I mean, Jonathan, how would you rank the original three?
Talking about a hot take for the comments, I'm not a super big sci-fi guy.
It's okay.
So I've seen them all once.
Oh, you got to see them more than once, man. Come on. Especially the original trilogy. You got to see that more than once.
Just so far once.
You got homework to do, son. Thomas says that's the order I watched him in originally. Oh, I thought you were ranking them, Thomas, but it's cool. Yeah, I saw Return of the Jedi and then probably Empire. I don't know. I may have seen everything. But bottom line is this. I've seen a lot of things out of order, but when it comes to Indiana Jones, Last Crusade is my favorite. So that's just me. But there's no right or wrong way about it. So there is that. So I'm assuming that if an opportunity presented itself for both Brina and Jonathan, or just Jonathan and the cast of Invictum Digital decided to table at a Comic-Con, you would say yes?
Oh, yeah. If there was a way to get there and do it. Again, this is something that is not It's not my full-time job, so I can't just, pack everything up and head out necessarily to different things. But if it was possible, the time and the money thing, then yeah, that'd be fantastic. Brina's story is worthy of that for sure, and I think people would love it. I did get to go to SonicCon, which was at Liberty University last year.
Really?
And I did have a table there, and we had Brina's book there, and had a big poster. Had the first scene of the pilot episode that was ready at the time. It was like a first listen at SonicCon, and people were just raving about it. And actually, the actor that is going to play Sasha in the drama, which you don't get to hear him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Him or Dr. Watt, unfortunately, in the pilot, but they're going to be in episode 2. That was the first time that he heard of the project, and he was super interested in it at that point. And I had known him from before, and so I was really interested to work with him. So when he was super interested in the project, I'm like, I know exactly who we need to reach out to for Sasha. So that was definitely fun. I think it would do very well at Comic-Cons if we could get it there, for sure.
All right. Well, like I said, we're here to help. So, East Coast, we're here, Want to have it at a table at conventions on behalf of Invictum Digital if you want to use my services. I mean, I'm here to help in any way, shape, or form that I can. So
if you're gonna go, we should talk. Absolutely.
Giddy up. All right. So we're gonna be talking some stuff. We got ideas, things are booming, things are, oozing. Creativity is just oozing in the back of our minds, we love you, Mega Man. Thank you, random. We love you, random citizen. There's a line from a movie that goes back a couple years. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, here's another follow-up question for the both of you. Brina, outside of the things that you've written, right? Outside of the artwork that you have pieced together yourself, one of your favorite movie quotes that you use every day?
Oh, goodness. It's probably from Princess Bride.
And which one is that?
I mean, I hate waiting. That's one I probably use a lot.
I mean, does anyone really like waiting in society today, especially with what's going on in society today? No, we don't like waiting. We want our stuff here and now. In the words of Schwarzenegger, do it now. It's just that's a predator quote. Still, I hate waiting. No, I get it. All right. For a second there, I thought you were going to say inconceivable. No, I'm just kidding. I met him.
Use that one too.
I met him though. I met Wallace Shawn.
I feel like Princess Bride is my most quoted movie.
That's the most quoted movie in your everyday life. Okay, that's understandable. What about Jonathan? If you can remember anything other than one or two quotes from Marina Grant, do you have a favorite quote or series of quotes that you use in your everyday life from film or television?
Not so much quotes, I don't think, but harkening back to the movie you just referenced a few moments ago.
Really?
Almost every time I answer the phone and it is a family member, especially a brother-in-law, I will answer it, "Olo," which is from Megamind.
I'm sorry. But yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's very, very good. Very good. All right. Just curious. Here's one for you, Brina. When the going gets tough, things get challenging. It feels like you're in round 5 of a huge boxing match. You get knocked down. What is a word or phrase that motivates you to keep going?
Oh, I don't know that I have a word or phrase specifically. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a tough one. I don't know. I think I'm probably the wrong person to ask how to motivate yourself to keep going. I usually, if I'm really low, I need a good cry, and then I can motivate myself.
And then you just go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm surprised that no Rocky Balboa came to your mind.
It should.
Because he's only been around for like 60 years. 50 actually, 50, over 50. But still, I digress. When did the first one come out? 76. So yeah, we're going on 50 years of Rocky here, which is ridiculous. Because the guy is still jacked and he's still acting, which is insane, by the way. It's insane. What about you, Jonathan? When the going gets tough and you need something to give you a little bit of a pick-me-up, what's a motivational quote or word, phrase that inspires you to keep going?
I'm also going to draw a blank on that. I don't know too much. I just know that I think of my kids, which is not a motivational word or phrase. But I do think of my kids, and it's just like, I want to, be able to take care of my family first and foremost. And so I know that pretty much keeps me going through anything at the moment.
That's okay. I mean, with them being ages 8 and under, that's going to keep you going for quite a long time, because all this is going on. You can hear the yelling, the screaming, the hollering, the cheering when their favorite TV show shows up on their tablet or their television screen. If they still watch, I don't know if kids today still watch something known as television, because normally they're just streaming it on their tablet. But if their favorite episode of SpongeBob pops up, maybe an episode of The Simpsons, I don't know. They're like, "Oh, Daddy, let's watch this." You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Disney Plus, DuckTales, that kind of thing. So,
there you go. Darkwing Duck. Does that ring a bell? Darkwing Duck.
Does. I loved that show as a kid.
Did you watch Tailspin?
I did. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
My kids watch it too. Yep.
Darkwing Ducks. What was
Gummy
the other?
Bears.
Gummy Bears. Yeah. What about Care Bears? Anybody remember that? No, that's too old.
I didn't like those.
No, I didn't really care much for them either. Too much rainbowish stuff. But anyway, let's see. What else did we have in that era? We had Mighty Max. We had Silverhawks. You had He-Man. You had Mask, which was a ripoff of G, which was not a ripoff, but it was similar to what G.I. Joe was doing. Anybody remember that? Mask or G.I. Joe? I don't know.
The G.I. Joe. I don't remember Mask though.
It's called Mobile Armored Strike Command. I interviewed one of the voice actors from that show once. He was a nice guy too. His name escapes me for the moment. I apologize, folks, but the episode is listed on the And I Quote playlist, so you can go back and watch it. It was one of our earliest episodes of And I Quote, which was pretty cool to get some celebs right out of the gate. That was some cool stuff, Jonathan. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Hollywood cred always goes a long way. All right. Well, just thought I'd ask the question because motivation is a very important factor when taking on humongous projects such as these. But yeah, look, you're doing a great job, both of you. You're excelling in more ways than one. And we do want to take this opportunity to say thank you to both Jonathan and Brina for being our guests on this special extended episode of And I Quote. Thank you both for being here. It was great to see both of you. Brina, if someone wants to know more about you, buy that book or check out some of the other things you're doing on social media. Where can they follow you, Brina?
I'm Brina Williamson on Twitter and Instagram. I have a website, but I hardly ever update that. I have a Redbubble. I've got an author page on Amazon. So I think most of those, they're all Brina Williamson. So pretty easy to find. Just make sure it doesn't correct it to Brian Williamson, which it does a lot.
Yeah, my autocorrect has had issue with that. But no, it's all good. And thank you for being here. Brina, I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily. Jonathan, you know what they say. It's when you come to a party, it's better late than never. But all good things, man. Listen, you worked an 18-hour day. It's been a long day at the office. I get it. It's cool. We still love you. We still respect you. We support you and everything you and the crew are doing over there at Invictum Digital. So if someone wants to know more about you or maybe take their book and translate it into something amazing like we're doing with Brina's, where can they follow you on social media specifically, Jonathan?
I'm on Facebook as Jonathan Winstead, but everywhere else Invictum Digital. So Instagram, also on Facebook as Invictum Digital, Twitter, and Threads, I believe. LinkedIn as well, if you're interested in that. It actually might be Jonathan Winstead on there, I think. But yeah, if you've got questions, you can reach out on any of those, and I get back with people. I don't have so many followers that I have to, stop the messages yet. So I will respond if you message me and you have questions.
Giddy up, man. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily, Jonathan. So don't you two youngins go anywhere, all right? Stick around. Grab some foods, grab some drinks in the backstage area of our non-existent physical studio, and we'll be back with you in a second. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Follow us across all forms of social media, simply at And I Quote Channel. And yes, support the Kickstarter. The link is in the comments section of this episode below. It's also, check out the description for the links to where you can follow both Jonathan Winstead and Brina Williamson on social media. But yes, this book is the best thing since sliced bread. And the Kickstarter is going to continue to prove it, folks. So in the words of Arnold, stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Once we do, we'll throw a great big live stream that will include special giveaways that you, the person who is watching or listening to this right now, are going to be eligible to win. Brina mentioned Redbubble. Guess what? We have a Redbubble too, Brina. Hello. We got shirts, we got hoodies, we got stickers, we got coffee mugs, we got stationery, a couple throw pillows, maybe some sheets for the bed, something like that. I don't know. But it's all there in our Redbubble. Link is in our social media bios. It's also in my link tree, which is located in the description down below. So check all that stuff out. I really appreciate it. Thank you once again for joining us for this epic, and I do mean epic, episode of, excuse me, and I quote, thank you for being with us. Thank you for, remember, support those who support you. Teamwork makes the dream work. And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when the videos go up or they go live. We appreciate it all. There's so many great creators out there, but hey, you don't have to take my word for it.
Trellin of Ulia is a cursed man, and cursed men are dangerous. He has traveled the known world seeking a way to lift his curse. So far, he has not found what he is looking for. When Trellin arrives in the city of Anshi, in the nation of Paraba, he meets a cold reception. The desert nation is unforgiving. Its people have proven untrustworthy, and the locals have no love for foreigners. Now, a wealthy stranger offers to lift Trellin's curse for a price, and he must make a choice. Seek a solution elsewhere, or risk imprisonment in the Tower of Ruhak, a place from whence no man has ever escaped. The known world of Atera, the prisoner of Ruhak Tower. Now available on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.